for staying with us. Some breaking developments now coming in. This is as far as the release of the movie, The Kerela Story, is concerned, where we're now understanding Muslim groups in Kerala, in fact, are staging a protest outside theatres in Kochi. Some of those visuals on your screens. There looks like an altercation between these protesters and officials on the ground. Remember, this movie has released today, and ever since the first trailer was released in November last year, it had garnered a lot of eyeballs, but a lot of question marks were raised on the figure that was quoted in this movie as well. And now many events of stirs and clashes being reported from theatres in Kochi, where Muslim groups, as we pointed out, are now staging a protest, and some of those visuals on your screens as well. So what is this movie really about? This movie centers around religious indoctrination in Kerala, and how Hindu and Christian women are allegedly being targeted by radical Islamic clerics. The Kerela Story claims that these women were converted to Islam and later sent to countries like Afghanistan, Yemen and Syria for quote-unquote to fight for the cause of Islam. But as I said, ever since the trailer was released, it had raised a lot of question marks on the number that was quoted in that trailer. In that trailer, it had quoted that as many as 32,000 women are being converted to Islam and then being radicalized. And now that the film, in fact, has released, we are seeing some protests that have broken out, especially in areas like Kochi. My colleague Neethu now joining us on the broadcast. Neethu, first help us understand where all have these protests broken out and what are we hearing from the protesters?
See, mostly what we are seeing is protests in Kochi, especially outside the Chennai theatre, where this screening of the movie is happening. So we saw the NCP youth wing protesting. That was the first protest earlier, protesting in the day, coming out. So these protests are mostly they're coming out, raising slogans, stating that this is a propaganda movie, raising these kinds of slogans and protesting outside the theatre.
Neethu, I want to also understand, there were certain reports earlier in the day that were suggesting that certain theatres, in fact, had refused to screen the movie. Is that a reality? Are you seeing that on the ground as well?
See, we're not seeing those kinds of reports on the ground, basically, because yesterday in certain platforms we saw certain theatres having a script. But altogether, if you look at it in Trivandrum, when we search for the tickets in platforms, it was only in 2 theatres that they were showing. And certain malls have told us that they were earlier itself decided that they are not showing this movie, is what we are hearing from them.
Okay. Neethu, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. This is a developing story. We'll keep tracking all those developments. We're now shifting our focus